Senior Lights finale up next here at Whilton Mill. We thought coming here it'd be a 3-horse race for the title, but as you're about to hear from Grant Hunter and Kieran McCulloch, it's only 2.
Grant, 5th last season. You thought you were 3rd this season, but it's all been blown wide open with this new thing on the points. If you miss a round, it looks like it's between you and Kieran now. So what's the actual points between you and Kieran? Do you know at this stage?
I think it's 97. Well, I must admit I hadn't really looked at the points, but I walked in on Saturday morning saying to the guys, "Are you all set for the championship to the Falklands?" And they said, "Have you not heard?" So I haven't heard. So a bit of a shock to me. So I think it's 97. So it's still a tall order, but obviously now 2nd is a bit of a different from 3rd. But I think 1st, we're going to go for it, but it's still a long way off. But you never know. It's not over till it's over.
Kieran, some people don't read the rules. You obviously do.
I was actually looking into the rules before this meeting. On the off chance I end up with a tie break on Sam, and the tie break rule is just next to this rule that you can't drop a score, which is in massive big red letters. So I was reading the tie break rule, read that, phoned up JV and said, "Is this rule a rule? Because it seems to be in the rules." And he was like, "Yeah, it is. Yeah, it definitely is." I was like, "I don't think it's being applied to the points." And he was like, "Oh well, we best sort that out because the rule's a rule." And yeah, I was as surprised as most people. So I've had people coming over like it's been my rule, like I've been. So a lot of people are very pleased because they've gone up places, and some other people are very sad because they've gone down places. And I almost feel like I'm the messenger, and you know, it's not my rule, you know.
But it's in big red letters in the rules. So at the end of the day, the rules, as you say, are the rules, and it was the timing system that's obviously not calculating the points correctly, and obviously Sam's missed a round, and therefore he has to count that round basically. So it's left you in front in the championship with Grant behind you. I think he's a fair way behind, but it's still mathematically possible for you to be beaten, but it looks like you're manning the box seat now.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like you say, I'm in the box seat, but I need to be very careful not to get an exclusion or do anything silly, upset anybody. So just try and have a nice clean day. And there's an argument that says you just race around at the back to make sure of it, but there's an E-plate and it's a good championship, and I think I'd rather go out and have a proper race for the you know, the spirit of the championship. I think is to go and race rather than to sort of poodle around at the back. So we're going to go and race.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Well, good luck today.
Thank you.
So Kieran McCulloch in the box seat, Grant Hunter chasing him down, and neither of them are on the front row. Pat Lay and Sam Fulton are on the front row with Golding alongside McCulloch, Evans and Jurga, Grant Hunter and Jake Welsby, Rainbow and Pearce rounding out the top 10. Add to these top 20, the 2 at the back, Will Topp and Jack Mitchell, who DNF'd in the pre-final. They'll be charging through. Away we go, and through Crook for the first time. We're on board with Grant Hunter, and that in front is the 7 we're chasing down already, Richard Evans, as we fight for our last chance to get into first position in the championship. It's almost over, but never ever count out Grant Hunter. In the lead, it is the 1, Patrick Lay, the reigning champion, who's bowing out in style with a chance to go for the E-plate. We've already had 2 E-plate winners today, and we're going to get our 3rd in the senior lights. It might be the closest battle we have today for the E-plate honours. So there is Richard Evans in front of us. We ride again on board with Grant Hunter, chasing down the number 3, Kieran McCulloch, and he's up the inside, goes Evans. Here comes Hunter, he's going to take on his championship rival, up on the final turn, on the first lap. I thought they were going to be side by side already after just 1 lap, battling away for the championship, but not this time. He just about gets away from it, and that is Ami Jurga. Ami Jurga, so Grant Hunter lost the place there to Jurga. Not for long though, up the inside. Oh no, Jurga's going to hang on to it, nearly, up and over the back, and that's going to cost her a place, is it? Up the inside comes the 4 of Matthew Pearce, but he can't get through. Great recovery from Ami Jurga. I know many another driver who would have bottled at that point. Let's watch again. She holds the inside line as she's entitled to do, plenty of curb, just tags the wheel, and somehow she's got the tenacity to not only keep the car in a straight line, but she manages to keep Matthew Pearce at bay. Oh, it's getting a little bit tough and rumble. Oh my word! First Evans goes into the side of McCulloch, and then he bounces off. Look at that, he bounces off, and the E-plate is there. He didn't realise. That was very close indeed. My word, so Jack Golding very nearly going off into the tyres on the outside of the corner. Jack Golding, the current E-plate holder, and he will want to hang on to this. It's sliding around all over the place. That is the 203 going sideways, allowing Jack Golding to go through. John Collins goes sideways at Inkerman. What is going on here? This is an electric race so far. It's clear that with everybody knowing that, oh, hang on a minute, Grant Hunter has been given a 2-place penalty for driving standards. Now that is definitely going to give Kieran McCulloch a chance to wrap up the championship. So that's going to minimise the points that Grant Hunter can score, and he's already 2 places behind him. So as far as we're concerned, Kieran McCulloch has got this championship won. Now we can only guess that the officials were not happy with Grant Hunter's conduct with Ami Jurga, but I didn't see anything there that really gave it to Grant Hunter in terms of blame or responsibility. I didn't think that was his fault at all. But he was in front, he had the right to defend. Ami Jurga didn't lose too much ground, well, she didn't lose any places at all as a result of it. But what's interesting to point out is that in Easykart, unlike in other championships, when a penalty is handed out, the decision is made there and then by Nicky Richardson, and he makes sure, if there is a digiflag system, as there is here at Whilton Mill, the driver knows about it instantly. So when Grant Hunter comes over the line, he passes the digiflag to his right as they go into Oblivion and Crook, and he will know that he's been given a penalty. Now, he may not know how big the penalty is or what the implications of it is, but he will know he's been penalised. The digiflag will say penalty with the black and white triangles on it and number 5, so he will know that he's been handed a penalty. Now that's going to be a very difficult thing to deal with while he's driving flat out, and he's got a whole heap of drivers around him that he's trying to battle, but that's already going to be something he'll have to deal with. Now Matthew Pearce, running in 7th position, 2 places behind Grant Hunter, is actually a place ahead of him once the penalty is applied, of course, because Grant Hunter has been handed 2 places. Jurga's going back through. So that's justice for earlier on as far as she's concerned, and through 2 goes Pearce. So that's 2 places that Grant Hunter has lost in one go, down to 7th, make it 9th once you add the penalty. Unfortunately, Grant Hunter's 2016 season is about to end in defeat, but he will be 2nd in the championship race. Here comes Golding up the inside of Jake Welsby. Welsby's going to hold him at bay though. No, you don't. I don't care if you're the E-plate. In the current position you're in, you're not going to get it again. Running in 9th position, Jake Welsby, in front of Jack Golding, who's down in 10th position. Is he the driver defending his E-plate in the lowest position so far this weekend? I think he might be. It's not a title you want, but if I know Jack Golding, he isn't done yet. He is going to charge up from that 10th position the second he gets an opportunity. Now, through all of this battling, just below the leaders, we haven't actually talked about the 2 drivers out in front yet. Patrick Lay leading, looking for the E-plate to bow out on. If he can't win the overall championship because he's missed a few rounds this year, he may as well go for the E-plate. And 2nd place, Sam Faulkner. Up the inside though goes Golding, up in a 9th position past Welsby. Now, Sam Faulkner, no matter how frustrated he must be about the championship situation, he will like to finish the season as the E-plate holder going into his 2nd campaign in the championship next year. That is for certain. And he will want to try and put one over on Patrick Lay right towards the end of this race. And if anybody's going to get the job done, let's be fair, it is Sam Faulkner. He's been a revelation this year in Senior Lights. Back-to-back junior championships over the last 2 years. He stepped up to Senior Lights and has been a whirling dervish to take on the established guard and win on pretty much every weekend he's competed in the championship this year, which, by the way, is all but one. And that is the only reason he is not in contention for the championship in 2016. Make no mistake about it, next year he's pretty much the odds-on favourite. Here's Jack Golding right behind Grant Hunter, although when you add the penalty he is ahead of him, of course. But Hunter scrabbling away, trying to keep him at bay regardless. Here comes Faulkner. He's charging after Lay. He is going to try and get the E-plate to round off his very successful season. And down the inside straight, that is Evans in front of McCulloch now, going to try and keep the potential new champion of 2016 off the podium. 2015 champion Patrick Lay. He's only done 5 rounds, including this one in 2016, so he was never going to be in contention for the championship. But it would be very nice from his point of view to end the season as the E-plate holder going into next year, so that 1 will become E into 2017. But Patrick Lay and his brother James, of course, who also races from time to time, but he's not been here this year. Hopefully we'll see both the Lay brothers scrapping away in 2017 once again. But Sam Faulkner, look at him, he is chasing down Patrick Lay, big style here. Evans and McCulloch still scrapping away over 3rd, and then the 5th position battle. Still a big challenge there for Ami Jurga to hang on to. There is Jurga at the front of that little battle. Then in 6th position, Matthew Pearce. So great battles all the way down this field. There is the 5th position battle led by Jurga. Pearce is there in 6th, up to 7th has come Golding, and in 8th position now Hunter, although if you add the penalty, he's actually in 10th place. It's not been the greatest of championship finales in terms of close battling between McCulloch and Hunter, but in terms of the race, it still has all the ingredients to be a battle royale, because we've got battles going on for first, battles going on for third, and battles going on for sixth. This is the sixth place battle, Pearce and Golding. Golding may not have the chance really now all the time to get back into the lead and retake the E-plate. Jack Mitchell out of the race. What a disappointing end to his 2016 season. He was already starting for the back. Golding up the inside, and he's through. So Golding moves up into P6. He may not be retaining his E-plate crown, but at least he's going to finish this race in the top 6 as far as he's concerned. He's going to want to keep this up and get away from Matthew Pearce, with Grant Hunter losing ground behind both of them. Here's the leading battle once again, and now it really is a battle. Faulkner has caught right up to Patrick Lay with just under 6 minutes to go. So Sam Faulkner really wants to take it to Patrick Lay. Frustration will be brimming over on the 283. He knows that a chance to win 3 championships in a row has been robbed from him on a technicality, but he will want to finish the season as the E-plate holder. From his point of view, he knows he's got the ability to. That's the champion from last year in front of him, but he has been the form maker this year. Richard Evans, meanwhile, trying to hold the champion-elect at bay. Kieran McCulloch looking good for 4th position in the race, but he'll want to win the championship and get on the podium in the same moment. But Richard Evans may stop him from doing that. So Kieran McCulloch hanging on to this 4th position. Richard Evans has got enough of a gap, and it's only a kart length and a half in front of Kieran McCulloch. That's enough for the moment to keep him at bay. Yellow flags waving. That is going to be for Jack Mitchell's stricken kart just off to the right-hand side of the circuit. But Patrick Lay still in front of Faulkner. Then Evans, McCulloch, there's Ami Jurga still in 5th position in front of Golding and Pearce. With Grant Hunter 8th on the road, although when you add the penalty, that is now 10th. Lay from Faulkner, Evans, McCulloch, Jurga, Golding closing in, then Pearce. Then it is Hunter in front of Jake Welsby, who's now in 9th position. Here comes Faulkner. He's starting to put Patrick Lay under pressure. He's not going to make the overtake for the lead yet. That is the 250 of Jack Mitchell being wheeled away up at the top of Christmas. So actually, I was mistaken before. It was Carl Watt's kart that has been parked up down at the bottom. You could just see it there in the top corner of your screen if you looked. So the yellow flag down at the bottom at Chapman's is actually for Carl Watt's machine. So let's see how this battle is going to continue to evolve. Patrick Lay tucking to the inside line there at the toe of the boot to try and keep Sam Faulkner coming up the inside. These two battling away. Lay is holding up Faulkner, and interestingly, Evans and McCulloch are getting closer. Golding's closing up on Ami Jurga. So the battle's all the way down this top 10. And again, Lay and Faulkner scrapping away. Lay holding up Faulkner is going to bring Evans and McCulloch into this battle for the E-plate. Now Evans, being the talented racer he is, he'll be frustrated that he's not in the fight for the championship table. So can he get the E-plate in the final race of 2016? It'd be nice to know if he could. And when you win as a kart racer on Whilton Mill, it stays with you forever. Many a great racing driver has won here in the past in British motorsport and gone on to big things. Doesn't matter what class you win at, if you win at Whilton Mill, you are a brilliant caliber of racing driver. Winning the E-plate against the kind of competition we've got here, Lay, Faulkner, Evans, McCulloch, when these four get together, it's going to be a battle royale to the flag. 3 minutes on the clock. Faulkner swarming all over the back of Patrick Lay, and Lay doing exactly what he needs to do. Look, he parks the kart in the middle of the braking zone every single time. He can't go left, Sam Faulkner, he can't go right. He has to just wait for Lay to make a mistake. And at the moment, look at him, nothing doing. He's bolted to the race circuit. Patrick Lay knows how to keep him at bay, but doing that is slower. And that's bringing Evans and McCulloch into the battle. It's going to be a four-way scrap. Up the inside goes Golding. Up on the inside of Ami Jurga. Did he manage to complete the move? Or will they come back on the main straight? There's a warning on the digi flag. That's for the 170 Jonathan Corrie for contact. Didn't see what happened, but Golding is in front of Ami Jurga, so he did complete the move up into P5. And again, Patrick Lay holds this inside line of Faulkner. It's slower defending like this, but look, here come Evans and McCulloch. This is going to be a four-way scrap for the E-plate at this rate. This is magic. It's starting to cook up big time. Faulkner determined to get Patrick Lay to go faster. He can hear over his shoulder that he's got two very racy drivers behind him. Oh, come on, Patrick. I know you're defending. I'd do the same if I was in your position. But we need to go a bit quicker. We've got two incredibly talented drivers behind us, and that could cost us both a chance of the win. Get on with it. Down the straight. Now look, warning for curbs. That is Richard Evans. So Evans in third position, trying to close up on these two leaders, has been given a warning for using too much of the curb. And Lay again, look, on the inside, the back end steps out. And look, it is a 4-car train for the E-plate. Faulkner is now desperate. Come on, man, what are you doing? Get out of the way. This is so close now as McCulloch tightens up to Evans. Evans tightens up to Faulkner. Faulkner tightens up to Lay. And we've got a 4-way scrap for the E-plate between 4 of the best drivers in this class. Down the inside straight, into the boot. Patrick Lay, you are doing a grand job of holding these guys at bay. You can't fault him for effort. And again, they slide around into the final corner, down the main straight. Oblivion, up and over the curbs of Crook. 45 seconds or so to go, and this is going to be a real humdinger of a final couple of laps. Again, Faulkner has to have a go at Lay. Jason Bradbury's been given a penalty further back for track limits. He'll only lose a place, but still, 4 carts at the front, absolutely together. This could be electric, and now Evans is starting to think about Faulkner. He's got to be careful when he times it, because if he gets it wrong, McCulloch will be straight through into third position, and that could cost him a chance to go for the win. Down the inside straight once again. Into the braking zone. Left, right, keep it turned right. Lay holds the inside line. Nobody's getting through. Into the heel of the boot. Over the straight once again. And we've got another penalty. Well, that's the confirmation of the penalty, sorry, for Jason Bradbury. The 196. 2 laps to go. We've run out of time. And again, Patrick Lay holding Faulkner to ransom on the inside to Christmas. Evans is trying to go the long way round and tuck in for the inside over Inkermans. Down the inside, here goes Evans. He's got to try it, and he's through. Faulkner's down to 4th. Oh, contact between McCulloch and Evans, and somehow they stay off the grass. Unbelievable. McCulloch is now on the podium, and Patrick Lay is away and clear in the lead. And look who's closing in all of them. Jack Golding in the E-plate is chasing them all down. This is mighty. This is going to be so close. I mean, Jurga's not a million miles away either in 6th position. Last lap in the Senior Lights E-plate final. Up over Crook, through Fine Lady, up Manuel's Bank, down to Christmas. Patrick Lay looks back. I don't need to panic just yet. I've got enough of a breathing space over Evans, but Evans is charging hard. He hasn't given up yet. Out of Inkermans, down to Ashby. McCulloch holds the inside line. There's no way I'm letting you pass Sam Faulkner. And that's brought Golding and Jurga onto the back of both of them. This is still not done. Patrick Lay swarming around all over the place as McCulloch holds Faulkner on the inside. Jack Golding has just set the fastest lap, and that puts him in the top 6. Gunning for glory. One last chance for anybody to make a play. Evans is going to try. Patrick Lay's going to hold the inside line, and Patrick Lay's going to round off his 2016 campaign as the E-plate champion, and that's what it means to him. You couldn't get closer than that. Absolutely magic. I love it when the E-plate rounds off a season like that. Patrick Lay from Richard Evans and Kieran McCulloch, Faulkner, Golding and Jurga, with Pearce in 7th ahead of Jake Welsby, Jay Hudman, Grant Hunter demoted to 10th after that penalty. Patrick Lay, not the champion, but the E-plate holder.
Tell me what got you here first of all. You were somewhere on the continent. Tell me about that first of all.
So we were out at Nürburgring in Germany on Thursday and Friday for track day, but the engine blew up Thursday morning. So yeah, we decided to come home, and I decided yesterday afternoon to try and enter for today. So thanks to Grant putting a quick word in, we managed to get an entry in, and yeah, that's why I'm here today.
Fantastic. All right. Well, so obviously hard luck for you out in the Nürburgring, but obviously that's been fortunate for us because obviously we've seen our reigning champion to come and compete with everybody here today on what was the largest grid of the day actually. So, and a very competitive grid as well. So, just tell me about your final.
The final was tough. I think I had pace to start with, which is always useful. But the trouble was about halfway through the race, my tyres started going. So everyone was pulling in, then you have to defend. And yeah, it's a tricky balance, but it wasn't the easiest of wins, but I'm pleased that we did it.
Absolutely. I mean, at one point it was quite funny to watch because there were like loads of races of twos going on behind you around the track. There was Sam, you and Sam, and then there was Kieran and Richard. But then all of a sudden it came to life in the last 3 or 4 laps where Richard and Kieran just caught up with you, and that gave us a great finale at the end of the race. But you managed to win it at the end. So swapping one championship for another. Kieran's obviously taking over your title, which you won last year. But now you're E-Plate champion. I mean, you're going to be coming back to Easykart and doing the odd race or maybe a season next year?
Yeah, I'll certainly do a few races if I can. It's between exams at the moment, so I can't commit to a full season, unfortunately. But no, it's good to change one championship for another. So that's all good all round.
And through all of that tension and drama, the Easykart Senior Lights title goes to Kieran McCulloch in 2016 from Grant Hunter. Jay Hudman is third ahead of Elliot Stanley. Sam Faulkner is fifth ahead of David Darling. We'll wrap up the 2016 season with the Masters next.